in an old part of Panama City. Well, I picked her, or did she pick me? Together we will sail, 'cause she's a salty dog with a salty reflection, a salty past and a salty captain. With 30 years of ocean passage, she's a salty dog, yes indeed. Well, she's been slooping here and slooping there. Ah, where she slooped, well, she won't tell. Now we're Key West bound on a southeast tack, making way despite the fact she's a salty dog with a salty reflection, a salty past and a salty captain. With 30 years of ocean passage, she's a salty dog, yes indeed. Through the wire she's singing her song, rain beating down, lightning flashing around. Yes, we're making our way back down to where it began, back down to Antigua. Well, we ran out of storm outside of Antigua, guys ran out of town down in Cumberland Sound. Two restless souls just making the rounds down the hill. And she's a salty dog with a salty reflection, a salty past and a salty captain. With 30 years of ocean passage, she's a salty dog, yes indeed. Well, it's anchors away, we're locked in tight, sitting back enjoying the sights. Two old salts making memories tonight, down in the 'cause she's a salty dog with a salty reflection, a salty past and a salty captain. With 30 years of ocean passage, she's a salty dog, yes indeed. Yes, she's a salty dog, yes indeed. Oh, she's a salty dog, oh yes indeed.
Okay, so Peggy's driving the boat now. We're still in East Bay, probably several miles from the DuPont Bridge. And we're starting to get to that area where it starts to get a little bit tight. So we're going to have to stay right in the middle of the channel. So let me turn the camera around so you can see what we're talking about. You can see it starting to come together right above the bowsprit there. It's starting to get tight. So we're going to be staying right in the middle of the channel because it gets real shallow real quick. Oh, we got a bridge up ahead. Not sure where that goes. And it appears that we've got another sailboat off to our port side here that didn't fare too well during the storm. That's a shame. We're going to try to make Lake Wimico if we can tonight. It's going to be a challenge finding a place deep enough to anchor up because I'm pulling 4 foot. So but we'll see how it goes. Okay, there's Salty Dog, sitting there nice and quiet. You can see it's flat calm right now. It's funny how the wind will lay when the sun starts to go down. We had a nice dinner in the cockpit. Peggy fixed up some really good food. This is a really nice facility here. This is called White's Creek. I believe it's Creek or White's Landing. It's White's Landing.
Okay, we left White's Creek this morning and now we're about to go out into Lake Wimico. That's what that opening up ahead is.
Constantly and current, and you know, we were averaging about 5 miles, 5 knots per hour, I guess. You know, it was really slow until we hit Lake Wimico, and then all of a sudden the current was gone, and we were running like 1,300 RPMs, and all of a sudden we were doing 7 and 8 knots. So we've used a lot of fuel coming over here, which was a surprise. So we're going to be fueling up tomorrow and heading over to Salt Creek, which is where we were planning on going today, but when we started running a little low on fuel, we decided to come on over to Apalach. So we're going to roll around town. I got some students down here. I'm going to down to the bar. They need to buy me a drink. So that's where we're headed. We'll roll around. We'll get them on camera too. That's guaranteed a free drink. So come on, let's walk.
Okay, we're in Apalachicola today. We anchored here about maybe 1 o'clock this afternoon, and every time Dana comes down here to do a class, one of his students owns a bar. So we are here tonight to enjoy the evening. Hunter Wall is playing from 8 to 5. We heard he's really, really good. And this cool little place is called the High Five Dive Bar. Now, you know they're pretty cool because they're playing Kenny Chesney music, and that's one of my favorites, especially since we're out on the water. I always like his water, beach, island music stuff. So I'm gonna go in the door here, and there's the musician setting up. And there's Dana. He is already working on a Hooter Brown beer. So we'll be here all night, or not all night, but a couple hours maybe. So we'll report back later. Bye-bye.
A little rock and ramble here, a little acoustic version of that. No more rain. Now everything's been going wrong. There's something different and it goes on. The atmospheric pressure just too strong.
Hi folks, good morning. I am on the dock here in Apalachicola. It's about 7:30, but because we're on the eastern time zone, it's just now getting daylight. I just rolled out of the bunk about maybe 10 minutes ago. We were up and down all night, or Dana was up and down all night checking the lines, and it was really windy last night. The wind was probably blowing at least 20 knots. So I'm going to be out walking around for a few minutes to show you guys what this looks like early in the morning. It's really pretty. I've got to be quiet. Nobody's up yet, it seems. There are shrimp boats down there. This is the water for the sunrise. We've got Salty Dog over there and the bridge. This is called Water Street over here. That is a really nice hotel, so if you ever want to come down here and you're not staying on a boat, that's a good place to stay because there's a balcony. You can come out and have a nice water view. So anyway, it looks like it's going to be a nice day, and we're going to fuel up and head out and go to Saw's Creek. Lucky 11, Panama City, Florida. That's the one that Susanna filmed going back into Tarpon Dock. They're from Panama City up here too.
Okay. Okay, we're up in Saw's Creek. I mean, you talk about back into nowhere. We've been driving through stuff like this at about 3 knots for probably 30 minutes. This is a favorite hurricane hole that a lot of people bring their boats. We're probably in about 30 foot of water right now. This is going to be pretty cool. We're going to anchor up back here tonight, and let me tell you, it's going to be dark and we're going to be in it. because there ain't nothing around here at all but woods and water. So I'll shut up and just listen, look at it. Okay, we're on to another day, and this is the anchorage in the morning. I just couldn't help myself. I had to take a picture of this morning sunlight. It really is pretty back up in here. That's a little bit of cloud cover this morning. Okay, this is where we were several nights ago, but we're on the way back now. So we decided to hang out here again. Well, looks like the rain caught up with us. We're in East Bay, headed back. We're planning on going over to Shell Island tonight. And it is pouring down rain. And we just had a few claps of thunder, so there's some lightning out there. We've been driving in this now for about 30-40 minutes. And I mean, it's still flat calm over here. There's not a lot of wind, thank goodness, but the rain is just coming down. Fortunately, we've got this enclosure, which is keeping us pretty dry, actually. So let me pan around. I had this enclosure put in. It's all canvas. I don't have it all on. That window there is on the lee side, so the water's not coming in. And we come on around. There's Peggy bringing us through this thing. There's only green buoys though. You can't find any red ones to follow.
There aren't any red ones on the chart.
And then I've got these covers up over here. This is the side the rain's coming from. So that's kind of keeping us dry back here. So all in all, it's not too bad. Wasn't expecting the rain to be quite this bad though, but that's the way it goes. Okay, well, we managed to make it through the storm, obviously. I would have to tell you, it was pretty interesting. And we're now anchored up over at Shell Island. At some point, I tell you, in all of my time on boats, it was probably one of the worst storms I've ever seen. It was actually so bad that we were afraid to carry the boat underneath the DuPont Bridge due to the wind was so strong. So we held outside of DuPont in East Bay and just circled some buoys over there until the rain and the wind lightened up enough to where we could actually go under the bridge without worry. I mean, the wind was actually blowing the boat sideways. It was so strong. And you know, this little 50 horse Perkins isn't all that strong. So it was pretty interesting. But now we're anchored up. This will be our last night on the hook. And we're going to get a good night's rest. And it looks like it's going to be a great sunset. Let me turn around so you can see that.